Hey everybody, welcome back to the Carry and Cut YouTube channel. And if you're new here, we sure do appreciate you stopping by and watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also check out our Instagram at Carry and Cut and our Patreon at Carry and Cut too. We sure do appreciate all the support from the Patreon. All the proceeds are going to go directly back into the channel to hopefully buy new knives and new equipment to hopefully make the quality of the content better for you guys. So today we got the knife tools out again, and we're going to be taking apart this Benchmade 535 bug out, and we're going to do a little bit of maintenance on it and show you guys how to disassemble yours if you'd like to. We want to give a huge shout out to Jimmie Crowe for sending this knife in for us to check out. He sent us a couple knives from his collection, and we are very appreciative of that. It is awesome to see him giving back to the community, and just showing off his collection. Of course, these knives are going to go directly back to him. He just wanted to reach out and send some of his collection in so we could take a look at. So, like I said, this is the Benchmade 535 bug out, and this is the standard one with the Grivery handles S30V blade. Let's go ahead and get right into this thing. So, we got our T8 and our T6 Torx bits here. Let's go ahead and start with a pocket clip. How about that? We'll go ahead and, wrong size. Get our T6 out. Of course, we need to be careful with our T6 bolts. Don't want to mess with those. Don't want to strip them out or anything like that. I'm pretty sure this knife comes standard with the deep carry clip on it. This is the mini deep carry clip from Benchmade. But they also have the holes for 3 of them, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. If they come standard with that, I think they do. At least on the website it claims that they do. So let's go ahead and throw these in here in our little change holder we got going on there. And then let's go ahead and take our pivot out next. This is your T8 screw right here. Of course, we're going to be putting our pivot back in with a little bit of Loctite. So let's go ahead and keep our pivot off to the side, and let's work on getting this scale off here. And you got to be mindful of where your screws are going. I like to orientate them on the table or somewhere the order you took them out in. So let's go ahead and start up here. This one's going to be for our blade stop, over travel stop there. Be mindful with these real little ones when you're taking them out. You don't want to lose any of them, especially these ones. They're very small. The threads are tiny on them. So to get that one out, this is going to be for our liner. Okay, that's got the same size. A lot of them have the same size threads, but it's still good to orientate them on the table exactly where you took them out of. So let's go ahead and get our next one. This is going to be our blue anodized standoff back here, barrel spacer, however you want to call it. I think that one's got the exact same size also. And let's go ahead and take this one off here too. The one in the rear. It is the exact same thing, so that's good to know. Alright, we should be able to pop this side right off there. Like so, maybe. Just like that. Okay, that's kind of interesting. There's only one screw holding that one in there. On the all the other Benchmade knives I've taken apart, there's been 2 holding that on, so pretty interesting to know there. Let's go ahead and get this one off this side. Things are falling right out today. A lot of the time I gotta fight with these darn things. Okay, this is the one for our mini liner, I guess you could say. The liners are pretty small on these knives. They're extremely light. I put this on my scale and only weighed 1.9 ounces. So for a 3-inch bladed knife to weigh that little, it is pretty impressive. And this gives you a good shot of your gives you a good shot of the inside of the handles right there too, the scales. So that's pretty cool. All right, we got our last barrel spacer out of there too. Set that off to the side. Ooh, come on there. Okay, now we can lift this right out of there. Push our pivot out. Could have done that before also. And of course, all these pivots, they have a nice D-shaped orientation slot, I guess, so you can know exactly where you're going back with your pivot in there. Okay, so we're going to lift this right out of there. Here comes our axis lock assembly, I guess you could say. So we got of course, our lock bar, over travel, our 2 liners, and our Omega springs. We got 2 phosphor bronze washers. We'll go ahead and give those a nice little polish for them. They're actually pretty nice and clean. He's even got a good bit of lube on there. So he was worried that there might be some wood chunks in here. Jimmie's pretty cool, and he does a lot of custom stuff. He sent in, I think he made like 3 or 4 different blade shapes of this bug out in wood and sent them to a guy to make him. I think it was a Magna Cut blade he was saying. So that is pretty awesome. He definitely is into modding these knives, and hopefully he sent some more of his bug outs from his collection so we can take a look at. They're very cool. So let's go ahead and pop that one off there. Of course, be careful with your Omega springs. You don't want them flying off and going to Neverland, and you'll never see them again. So easy to lose. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and pop our axis bar out of there. Then our liner is going to come right apart, just like so. There's our travel stop, and that's got an orientation on it too, a nice little D-shaped half moon deal to where you can't put those in the wrong way. So pretty cool. So what do we got here? Get our card out of the way. We got 2 liners, scales, I guess you could say. We got our liners, the blade, we got our over travel stop there, 2 phosphor bronze washers, Omega springs, lock bar, and all of our hardware with our standoffs and pivot and pocket clips. So let's go ahead and get some alcohol going here with the Q-tips. Get this thing cleaned up. All right. If you want to, you can go ahead and take your thumb studs out at this point too if you'd like to, but I don't think it's completely necessary for what we got going on here. So this knife is actually very clean, so don't really have to do too much to it. So that's definitely exciting, seeing a nice clean knife. He said every Sunday he gets all his knives out and cleans them all up and goes over them all and looks at them. And man, I hope I can get to that point in life. That sure would be cool. So let's go ahead and get that one cleaned up. Anywhere that the blade's going to be touching. Clean our liners up here. Alright, go ahead and give those a quick wipe down. So this knife already had incredibly smooth action, so we didn't really have too much to worry about that. If we can at least get it back to exactly what it was, if not better, that would be perfect. And wipe our blade down. We've got our handles, scales, like so. Let's get our washers here. Let's get, there's a little bit of oil on them. Let's get those cleaned up, like so. And I was going to put a polish on these, but man, he's already got these babies shined up. You can see your reflection in those darn things. So we might be able to skip that step. I like to, I have a 1200 grit fine diamond stone. I like to just do a quick little run on those and get those things cleaned up if need be. But I think his are going to be very nice and shouldn't have to worry much about them. So, all right, let's go ahead and get our liners back together here. Just like so. Alright, so we are going to take our over travel dude, stop bar, whatever you want to call it. Put him in there. Click this one right back in top. Make sure I got you guys in frame here. And just like so. And then we are going to put our, a little bit tricky here. Everybody does this their own way, I think. Go ahead and slide our axis bar in there. This is another thing where you go, these Omega springs only go one way, so if you kind of think of where your ear is going to be, we're going to slide that down over our axis bar like so. Maybe easier said than done. My fingers don't want to work today. Okay, there we go. Now it's going to pop right in its little home right there. Say anything about this side. The more I've gotten taking these knives apart, I've been doing a whole bunch of Benchmades lately, and they're definitely sometimes getting easier. Hope I'm not jinxing myself by saying that. Jimmie was talking about he's got his own little tools that he's made for putting these together, and it is pretty cool, the stuff that he's done put together, and it's pretty ingenious if you don't ask me. Say so myself. All right. Okay, so there's that side. So this part is ready to rock and roll. All right, let's go ahead and start worrying about some liner, some backstops here. Not backstops. Okay, yep, those are just round. Ooh, about dropped on us. Don't be doing all that. Just trying to see if these have an index mark on them too, and they definitely do. So those got to go in there a certain way, just like so. Okay, put this one in there, same deal. Okay. And we are going to be putting this side back on them too. Alright, let's get our clip screw on, not our clip screw, body screw on this side, and get our T6 back out here. Snug this one down. We're not going to go crazy tight, we're just getting these put in there just for mock-up purposes here. Alright. Okay. And this is where you gotta kind of gets a little tricky with your liners, and they don't exactly sometimes sit down all the way in there. These screws are so small, the threads are miniature on them, they don't stick out very far. To get them started up on the liner sometimes can be a little tricky. That one actually wasn't too bad, it went right in there for me, so that's pretty nice there. Let's go ahead and get our top one in there, just like so. Perfect. Let's repeat on the other side. Oh, right through it. Okay. Snug that one right in there. Like I say, once we get all the bolts put back in and the blade in and everything like that, we'll go ahead and do a final tighten down and everything. These are just to snug them down, make sure nothing's going to go anywhere. Look down in there, make sure our bolt's getting started, our liner's sucking up in, which it did. Perfect. And that was actually pretty smooth, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I've had a lot more troubles than that. But the real fun comes when you're trying to line up your pivot and everything like that into the knife. So that's going to be the exciting part. See if we've gotten any better at it. He was showing me the Benchmade tool that you can get, and Flytanium makes it also, and it's like a pivot alignment tool. And it is definitely pretty cool. So let's go ahead and get our pivot started in here. Of course, we have our D-shaped dude. We're going to get him just going into the liner here. Maybe so. Make sure we get it kind of where we want him. Easier said than done. Definitely got it going right here. There we go. Alright. So now the trick is, at least if you don't have your alignment tool, you're going to want to start your pivot just enough so it starts to be flush with your liner on the inside there. Turn them around. There it goes. Okay, so we just put it in just enough to where it started. Then we're going to get our blade. And we're going to put some KPL here on the blade, so that was a little too much there. Wipe some of that off. Just a little bit goes a long way, just enough for our washer's going to stick. Oh, come on. There we go. We can put a little more in here. All right, same goes on this side. Put a little bit of KPL on there. Like I said, I have all my tools linked down in the description if you guys like to check them out. They definitely do help the channel out if you do buy them off the links, but that's completely up to you. Don't feel obligated. And put a little more dab on there just like that. And all these tools are super cheap and recommendable also. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and slide them right on in there like so. Kind of try to help them. Oop. Help them along in there. There you go. Once you got your blade started, whoa, you can see your washers kind of get a little crazy on you. Everything is slicker than a snail. Our other washer's just chilling in there right now. Alright. Definitely a little more challenging than it has to be. Go ahead and try to get him down. There we go. There's one of them. I don't know exactly where the other one is, though. Thinking about it more and more, man, that alignment tool sure would be sweet. There's our other washer right there. Little technical difficulties here. Get out of there, darn it. I'm sorry about the delay here, guys. Get him started down close enough. Almost there. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. All right. Go ahead and index that. Try to get that just right in there. And then you're gonna have to pull your axis bar back. Try to get that lined up exactly where it needs to go. Washer's still kind of being problematic right there. This doesn't quite want to go where it needs to be. There we go. There we go. Now we got it. Push it right back in. So once you get your washers and everything all lined back up, it goes together beautifully. So, all right, that was more of a struggle than it had to be. Sorry about the, definitely made myself look like I don't know what I'm doing at all. And really I don't. I'm winging it, figuring it out as I go. That's about all you can do if you guys are, you know, watching these videos, trying to take your own knives apart. It is awesome, and I definitely encourage you guys to do so. And I'm pretty sure I said T8 earlier also, but it's definitely a T10 in the pivot. Just found that one out. Okay, let's go ahead and get a little bit of blue Loctite. I like these sticks. It makes it a lot easier. Way less mess than it is with the liquid. And you can control the amount that you want going on there also. So let's go ahead and run our pivot in here. Just like so. Snug it down. Definitely need to loosen it up a little bit. Check our centering. Let's go ahead and loosen that up just a fuzz. Oh, that feels way better. Alright, let's go ahead and snug down all of our body screws and everything. Make sure those are all tight. Centering looks like right on the money. Perfect. Snug that one. Finish that one off. Okay. And once we get all these tightened up, we'll make sure to check our action didn't change at all. And once with that Loctite in there, it shouldn't change. It should pretty, stay pretty well solid to where it's supposed to be. So definitely a nice touch using the Loctite. Okay. Looks like our centering is still pretty much right on the money. Yep, I like it right there. Alright, action's pretty much exactly where we want, maybe just a little more. A little tighter on there. And a little too much. One more little snug out. That feels perfect. Nice and smooth. Buttery action. Awesome. Let's go ahead and put our clip back on. like this for right hand tip up carry only. I think I forgot in the review it is only tip up left or right hand carry, but this is, you know, perfectly ambidextrous knife. Anybody can use it, especially you lefties out there, which I definitely know that there is some that are watching. Let's go ahead and put that right in there. Perfect. One more. Alright. Make sure we get that started. You always gotta make sure you get these started just right on your clips. Really anything in fact with these knives. You don't really want to strip any of these things out. Not feeling like it likes it very much right there. Not like that. Definitely don't force it. If it's not going in, there's definitely a reason why it's not going in very well. There we go. Now we got her on the money. Okay. Alright, so that's how you disassemble and maintain your Benchmade Bugout 535. Thanks, guys. If you have any questions or concerns, put them down in the comments below. Sure to appreciate everything you guys do and everything you watch. So thanks very much. Have a good one. Bye.